Gemini, how you doing? So we are here with your October. How you doing, Gemini? Positive vibrations, right, guys? So we are changing things up this month, Gemini. So if you could do me a favor and hit the bell for notifications, I really would appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. So what we're doing now is, okay, same kind of spread of what I've done before, and we're going to look deep into your situation, okay, but on the other side, we're going to look deep into your partner's situation and your person of interest situation and what's going on with them. And that gives, I've just done one for the first time, and there was loads that you could cross comparison both readings to see what's really going on. But once we do these spreads, okay, I'm going to relate it to your work life, your money, career, and everything, and then see how that cross comparison with everything. Okay, Gemini, so let's see. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for October. I will explain that a little more slowly towards the end if you're still around for the end. But let's see. This is the end. Beautiful friend. That's what I heard. This is the end. My only friend, the end of everything that stands the end. Yeah, that was a song, but that was by the Doors, right? But it's the end of something. Okay, so let's see. But Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for October. End of a long cycle is what I'm picking up, Gemini. So you've got Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but feeling erotic, a bit of erotica, but fear, this can be fear. Okay, so trying to gain strength in a situation is kind of like, right, I need now to find courage in order to be able to move forward. Now I normally pick this up as Leo, but it can be either fire sign, okay? It can be in your chart or their chart or anybody's, but this would also be places of residency also, because it would represent a lot to do with family and courts and all that kind of stuff and jobs. So it's a lot to do with trying to find a new perspective, an approach, an approaching energy. It's where you feel like there's a new beginning approaching that's ending. Okay, it's standing also in your masculine. So make sure that you try to find out what your Jupiter is placed, because that would be your masculine, because you've got the king here, so it would be a masculine person, but it might be in their Jupiter. Okay, but please make sure that you check your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus and Jupiter. Jupiter is all to do with your masculine, and Venus is to do with the feminine side of your yin and yang. Okay, and focus, how to focus your energy of becoming balanced within yin and yang. But let's see, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for October. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for October. But you might find it very difficult for someone to open up, okay? Or you might be finding it difficult to open up yourself. But this is talking about courage in order to do something different, do something outside the box, you know, experience life, to find passion within yourself again also. It can also be a supporting energy. There you go, Four of Wands. Wow. So you've got happy of home. It might be, what do you know? It might be finding courage to move away because you're turning your back on a home as well. Okay, turning your back. But also for some of you, you're turning your back on the past, which is probably an old, stable relationship that was probably unstable. And you might be finding yourself having courage in order to move away from that. But that would also mean moving away from a home or a place of residency or anywhere where you reside at. Okay, that can also be a job, town, place, anything. Okay, but because there's a turning of backs, it's like there's a turning of tides. The tide is turning. The tide is now turning. You're becoming more either feminine or masculine, or you're balancing that out, because that's 11-11. That's being in alignment with everything that you want to do for oneself. So you're becoming more either one feminine, but you're balancing out your chakras of femininity. But a lot of this also, I feel, is something to do with where it is that you feel more comfortable with, who you feel more comfortable with, but also who comfortable with where you're working or comfortable with where you're living. It would really be to do with where you're living. If you're really happy living where you're living, then that's you putting passion back into that. If not, that means that you're not happy and you're having strength to find the courage to do something different at home or move away from it. Okay, but there is a turning of backs there. So for some of you, you're finding courage to move out and to actually move away from an old twin flame soulmate, but also from a place of stagnation of where things just resides of, well, it's just the same, so I've got to do something different, right? So that can be ideas as well. But I feel that's all of the above for some of you. That's old soulmate, new soulmate, okay? But then also place and towns, wherever you want to move. But that might be putting passion back into a family dynamic, or it might be some kind of, you know, I always pick that up as Leo energy for some of you as well, but it can be Aries or Sagittarius. But I feel it's more standing up within your rights. What are your rights? So some of you, it's rates. Some of you are irate and you're getting irate with someone, okay? Or some of you have got high rates, okay? Now, some of it could be high standards, okay? But I'm also picking up as rates, as in the price of living. The price tag, bruv. The price tag is high, but the price tag of where you might live, they might be raising the roof, raising the rent, raising awareness too. This is also being very self-aware and being aware of your surroundings, that something might not be right. Sorry, some channeling. So you might find that something's not quite right where you're living, in your living space or quarters, and you don't want to draw and quarter people, so you're splitting halves. It's kind of like dividing assets for some of you. You're dividing. There's a divide. There's the Great Divide. The Great Divide. But that was also a very good song by the Cardigans. The Great Divide. Some of you are dividing assets or dividing where you want to live. Some of you might be going through a divorce. If you are, and that would be you dividing your assets and splitting and going your own ways, separate ways. Whatever that is, that would be also for some of you where you're going separate ways from someone. You've turned your back on the past. You're finding alignment now with something that makes you feel more fulfilling, that actually gives you strength and courage. Okay? Continue on this reading before. But that could also be a very supporting energy, because it would also be that when you find passion and creation again within yourself, your heart's desire, this would be very desirable, but the energy would also be very desirable, okay? Desiring after more for your worth, your money, worth for your money, but also worth for your respective energy, of dealing your energy in the right manner to find someone that you're more in alignment with, okay? But that would also mean your assignment spiritually as well, Gemini. Okay, so let's see, continue on this story. So, but I'm just picking up that you've come from a queen, from a jack to a king. You've come from a queen, pretty much, meaning like you've come from either like being very feminine to becoming very masculine, or you've become, or now you're opening up to be more of a, do you know what I'm saying? Because this person's looking at something, okay? So someone's watching, someone's watching. Might have something to do with an Aries as well. They had that. I forget what that was just called, what I've done. But let's see. But I feel like looking for a queen, meaning like you're looking for a king. If you're a feminine, you're looking for a king, okay? If you're a man, then you're looking for a queen, right? Let's see, continue on this reading for. Meaning that you could have left someone behind, or you're becoming very more balanced. Okay, so you've got Page of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You've got Sagittarius energy, finding balance now, okay? Some of you, this is a Sagittarius that you might have turned your back on, but this is turning the tables. Turning the tables. You've got Leo, which is the sun, okay? You've got, wow, you've got the Five of Wands, which is a lot to do with a family dynamic that's appearing here. Because that's the Nine of Wands, which means like something has to be left behind. You have to leave an energy behind, okay, in order to, because nines mean sacrifice. Okay, it's reached the point of cooling where it needs a new vision and outlet. Then you've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is an ending where the tide changes and starts to go in or out of other people's favour, and I would never really be able to tell you. Then you've got Judgment that seems to be coming up, okay, but we're going to look at these in a while because I can't fit everything on the screen. So this could be some kind of conflict over travelling, or where you want to be within the world, or where you are seen within the world, within the public eye. It could have something to do with fighting about a family relationship or a family dynamic, or some of you it's children, okay? But it can be also internet relations and stuff like that. It might be an internet relationship because that is the internet. But you're being called for judgment, meaning that you've got to... This would be a medium as well, a medium on the internet here, psychic medium, a bit like what I do as well, okay? But judgment is coming up. You've got 3 endings in things. Now that's going to be a lot. That's going to be where the energy is really combinating now, where there are a lot of decisions that are going to be made also within Saturn being here, because this is Saturn, so it's here and it's watching, right? It's watching your growth. It's ticking your clock, meaning like I feel that for some of you might be feeling like time's running out. I need to find my partner that I really want to be with now. For some of you, that's a common interest as well. Let me see. This is where things are going slightly mad. So it's kind of feeling like something's arriving, because this isn't arriving, this is speaking and hearing and soul groups and everybody. This is sacrifice at its highest point, because this is also the gates of heaven. This is the answer and the answer and question of why. Okay, leaving question marks in life, things that need answering or not. Okay, this is the decision that is made upon yourself. Never judge things upon yourself. Okay, but this is you judging, judge, jury, and executioner. Some of you, it can lead to family court or court decisions. But I'm feeling like this is going to take you to open up to learn to be independent and to learn to sacrifice things that are not keeping you at a high vibration. Let's see. I mean, this can be any fixed sign, but this could be anybody, really anybody. But this is also Scorpio for me too. But I feel that you're really coming up against it this month, Gemini, where you might see people leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Meaning like you've got to experience new things in your life for your soul to start to experience it, of being clear. So that's clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant, everything like that. But in order to be able to think clearly, you need to separate yourself away from people that are not allowing you to think clearly for oneself. Okay, when you can, this starts to turn very much in your favor. Okay, in your favor. But it seems to be going in your favor, but obviously it's going to be going out of someone's favor. Okay, but that would also be to do with family dynamics for a lot of you, because this is family. But this would be also people that you live with or work with for some of you. But a lot of the time this relates to family. Like if you've got children, this would represent your children, and this would represent a decision within a partnership of the Hierophant 5, okay? But this would also represent people that cause conflict in your life, that have a lot of ego, that cause battles, okay? You sank my battleship, okay? You can keep your battleship. I've moved and sailed. I've sailed. I am sailing, across the water, across the sea. I am sailing stormy waters, to be with you, to be free. Yes, stormy waters, I am with you to be. I'm sailing. Well, I can't forget what the lyrics were, but sailing, so that would be travelling or selling things, selling, buying, selling and buying. That's buying and selling. What comes in goes out, what comes in, what goes out, everything. It travels through you for ascension, internet relations, internet businesses. So you've got that going on. But also I am sailing to be with you, which is travelling. So that's all to do with travelling, mind travel, thought space, connection of psychic ability, all that kind of, jazz. But also sailing to be with you. Now that could be sailing and traveling to be with someone, or a sales travelman, or someone that can do internet relations, that would do where you would sell things via the internet, which could also be like things like this, or selling things via the internet, or a traveling internet salesman, or something like that. Travel and sales. Okay. Alexa Sale. Alexa Sale. Comedian, right? So it might have, someone might see you as very funny, and a comedian might have Leo somewhere. I've got that in my midhaven, and that means that. But yeah, but that also means, you see, this is very important to look at if you don't know. MCIC, North and South Node. Okay, that's your Wheel of Fortune. That's your destiny. Unfortunately, all my Wheel of Fortune's fixed. so I start to steer things in my direction when I know, okay? But there's a knowing. But what I'm picking up is what we're doing. I am sailing to be with you. Now, this would also be a holiday, but this would also be traveling to be with someone. That would be a good partner. Because this burns things. This is a malefic star. Everything goes around the sun. Okay, there's a very good song, very, very, very good song, but I can't tell you at the moment. But traveling around the sun, traveling around the world travels around the sun. This is kind of like the world, so it might be that you want to travel around the world, or there is something to do with internet businesses around the world as well. Around the world. Red Hot Chili Peppers, someone finds you red hot handed. Let's hope that you're not getting caught for something and going to prison for some of you, okay? But I'm not picking that up. But if you're relating to that, that is relation. That would be you knowing that they're coming up against the judge and the jury and the executioner, okay? So that would be, oh, I just heard execution. Look, I've got no idea what that is, Gemini. Just don't go off on a tangent. If you know that, you know that. But that would be someone that might be passing on, okay? So some of you might know that someone might be. That it would be a family. Please don't think, oh my God, I've got to ring them to find out. It's not really that. I'm not picking up that. But that's only if you really know, okay? But that would be people that you work with or for or something. But what I'm picking up is that a lot of this is to do with knowing that something has to go, but I'm sailing to be with you. But that would be, because that would be the consummation of the relationship. That would be, okay, this is fresh. You can get no more fresh and new than this. You can get no more fresh and new than these here. Okay, so some of you, it is a new person. Okay, this is complete new start, complete new outlook, complete new beginning, complete new person. Okay, which is also a 3, which is the master number of 3. Could be related to a Pisces, because that would be the Empress, which is a 3, and then the Hangman, which is a 3, and you've got 3 here. So it might be something to do with them, or it's in your chart. Okay, but that would be the master teacher. So that would be someone that does this, for instance, like me having a Gemini moon, right? But and a Piscean sun. But do you know what I'm saying? 3 is the master number. So they might be born in March. Okay, some of you it might be March 3rd. Okay, but if not, that is to do with master number of 3. Okay, which is the Hangman. But that's the master teacher. So that is something to do with selling and buying as well. Selling and buying, like antiques, antique roadshow, or antiques, buying antiques, selling antiques, or buying and selling anything. But I'm also picking up like antiques, because that would also be things that are old, like making them from old to new, like old to new. So like jazzing things up that are very old, and they are old, but making them new and making them pop and making them new, you know. So that would also relate to a new person as well. But there might be some kind of conflict to do with moving, because this is also moving. These are also travelling, travelling. So it would have something to do with merging. 5 is to do with merging the relationship, merging businesses, merging things together, but realising that families, or you have to live together with also the ego, which is whatever that is, but it's like good ego. It's kind of like the sun. But it's stripping back, knowing that things have to merge together to work on a relationship together, to probably do things on a mundane level where you can run businesses together, all that kind of stuff, you know. But there would be where you would know, where it's kind of like, well, if you live at distances and things like that, then something has to go for you to learn to go out on dates, to move in together, to move away from someone, to move, all that, you know. It's all what I'm picking up. Because it's going to all relate to where you feel more at home, where you feel more relaxed. Okay, that would also be all of the above, which is going to be who you're in alignment with. When you're in alignment with your assignment, that means that you're in alignment with the person's energy. When the person's energy merges with your energy, that's when you become up, where you start to then have dreams and visions and become psychic, and then you start to see the bigger picture and see the woods for the trees, okay? It starts to open you up. This is open university, open study, okay, law degrees, all that kind of stuff, but it is also intellect, emotional intellect, but it's kind of like learning to open up, putting the ego aside to learn to open up to your partner, where it all comes into fruition, where your work life then suddenly become like, oh, everything's like great, you know, because you've dropped something. But what we're going to do is we're going to see what this is really about, Gemini. So what I am doing now is I'm going to look into your partner as well. But I will, how I normally do this that really does work, is because we've come up with 4 and 5. So for instance, okay, you go from 4 to a 5. So it's still a decision. But if the numbers add up, where I start to clarify, and they add up to a number that comes here that adds to a 5 again, okay, I can say, yeah, that's to do with moving in your home and blah, 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 and that might affect this, that, and a cause and effect of what that is. And I add the numbers together and tell you about family, work, love, money, jobs, spiritual path, and your partner. We go into your partner after that, which is, once that's done, I stop the camera, go on to it, and then we ask the question of what is your partner thinking and feeling and what's going on. And if that relates to this, you can cross-comparison both of those to see, okay? And then I'll still relate that to their work and their love and see what's happening with the dynamic if you're in one, okay? But keep in mind the person that you want to be with or who that is and relate that to that. Okay, that is over on Vimeo in the monthly folder, or over on Patreon, where you get access to all of the readings that I do if you've just subscribed. That gives you access to tier 1 or tier 2. Tier 2 has all the mind expansion videos of how I help people out of all dynamics. There are certain individual videos that you can watch. That still gives you these readings, but it also gives you those videos if you want to watch it. If you want to reach out for a personal reading, that is in the description also, guys, and the prices are all there too. The price tag is there, okay? I'm also going forward on a project and quite a lot of stuff coming up, hopefully this month, so please make sure you hit the bell to see what that is, okay? But there might be a few things, but every reading will be over on the other side, guys, and I will hopefully see you there, and let's see what's going to happen. Okay, guys, thanks so much for all your support and all your kind words and comments and all that kind of stuff. I really do appreciate it. And let's break all this down to see what's going to happen for your October. Okay, and I will be doing the life path numbers again, all that kind of stuff. So all that will be coming up still. Make sure you find the cards. Okay, guys, thanks very much, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, peace.